Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for this Sunday, the 1st of September. It's a new month and we race at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. I trust that you, the valued racing fan, is well. Looking forward to, ending off the weekend on a high. Before we touch on anything, we have to touch on something very important for us racing fans. It was Hollywoodbets that brought this competition to us racing fans, called the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge. And on Sunday, it will be the 1,000 Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge this Sunday. And as you've come to know, all you need to do is have a Hollywoodbets account. It's play for free. And all you need to do is select the winners on the race card. If it's 8 races, well, you need to select all 8 races, all 8 winners, and you are in line to win massive. When I say massive, well, you've come to know that there have been plenty of champions being crowned over the last 999 competitions. And I've just got some figures here, and it makes for brilliant reading. So it's the 1,000 Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition, of which prize funds have been paid out to 31.5 million rand to those that have won. How does that work? Well, it is a daily prize of 5,000 or 10,000 rand if you play the 50 rand on your bet slip, or it is big jackpots to be won on the day along with the daily prize. And what that basically means is the number of runners on the race card multiplied by 10,000. That gives you the jackpot prize for the day. And there is a prize fund that equals to an amount that you play for free, but Hollywoodbets will double that. Yep, double that if you play the 50 rand on your bet slip. There have been many jackpot winners. We congratulate them all. It's been well documented in the sporting posts each time we have a jackpot winner, and the wonderful stories behind how they won the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition, and it is played for free. So we like to congratulate and thank Hollywoodbets for the invaluable support of South African horse racing, and to us racing fans who love the competition on a daily basis. Yep, a daily basis is local racing, and of course Hong Kong and Singapore. So well done to Hollywoodbets, and we wish them all the best with the competition moving forward. Yeah, race number 1. Let's get straight into it. We got an interview package.
Yeah, look, she's a nice filly. She's come up from the Cape. Dean never raced her down there, so we've brought her up here and we've got her ready to run. She's a nice type of filly. She moves very well. I think she'll run a competitive race on Sunday. Only thing that could maybe get to is the greenness, but she'll be running on definitely a lot stronger in the race.
Yeah, Nicolette Roscoe does a fantastic job for Dean Kannemeyer here in KZN, and some nice positive comments there about the first timer. Number 7, Princess Goldie. Well, by the way, she was a 1.3 million rand purchase. She'll race in the colors of Mr. Khabia, the Alec Pty Ltd. Just looking at her pedigree, she's a half-sister to Dancing Queen, a 6-time winner from 1,000 up to 1,400 meters. Al Dante, we know well, from the MJ Odendaal yard, a decent horse rated by the stable. He's won 4 races, also 14 to 1,600 meters. So with those positive comments, many will be including number 7, Princess Goldie, in all bets. But no doubt the horse to beat is number 4, Kerari Rose, from the stable of Mike Miller, who put in a very promising debut run at Hollywoodbets Greyville. 1,200 meters around the turn, not easy. She was mostly outpaced and green. But when her mind got on the job over the final 400 meters or so, she was the fastest finisher behind Lizwile Ilali, who looks like a very exciting horse. Although there haven't been any winners to come out of there, the best being a second from Warrior Royal, and second to Isibuko, I think it was Warrior Royal, just the other day. I fancy that this filly would naturally improvement, the fact that she's down the straight at Hollywoodbets Scottsville over this 1,200 meter trip. She looks like the right horse in the race. So respect for the first timer, number 7, Princess Goldie. I think number 5, Baron Bortus's runner, is far better than that last run suggests. If you're going to judge her on her 2 previous runs, I think she will have a chance of possibly being the joker of the pack here with the experience under the belt. But in race number 1, the popular choice for many in the bar pot is going to be number 4, Kirari Rose. But I think after those comments from assistant trainer to Dean Caname and Nicolette Roscoe about number 7, Princess Goldie, many will be considering her as backup in leg 1 of that bar pot. And then again, number 5 has to get a mention with the experience and some of her better runs. But in race number 1, hopefully punters get off to a flyer here with number 4, Kirari Rose. I'll be on to race number 2, which will kick off the place accumulator on this 8-race card. It'll take place at 13:10. It's over 1,400 meters, and this is a maiden plate. You need to get on by 13:10 with your place accumulator. Interview package up next.
Yeah, look, he's got a nice draw. He's still quite a big baby still. He needs a run under his belt. He's going to go back to the Cape anyway. But we just want to try and get a run under his belt. I'm happy with his work, and he's a type of horse that could squeak in the quartets.
Yeah, it's more his trip. He'll even go further than this. Last time 1,000 was too short. Yeah, he's bred to go much further. He's got a decent draw here, and I'm sure he'll be competitive. Yeah, his horse is going to be looking for much further. He'll need this run, but he should be running on strongly towards the death.
Well, you heard it. May just need the run, but will be running on strong at the end. And number 1, Chief Runner, well, what we got from that is that he's likely to need the run. Well, we'll bring up the field and just have a look at what is happening here on the fixed odds betting market. I can tell you number 1, Chief Runner, is at 7-2. That is bound to drift after those comments. Horse number 7, Cola Tonic, is at 5-2. Number 1, Artist Model, is at 9-2. And those are the runners here that will dominate the betting. Yeah, it's a tricky start to the bipod. I'll tell you why, because there are a few runners that you can make a case for on their better form. Amir Fati is the obvious horse from that last start. Emma coming out to win from Paul Lafferty, beating Apex Predator. They both came out from that form line. And I think the extra ground should no doubt suit this horse, whilst Frank mentioned is looking for further than this 1,400-meter trip. Red Mountain from the Robbie Hill stable. I don't know what happened last time out, but the horse was well beaten 3rd behind Burning Man. Well, Burning Man won so well. So 4th in that race was Intuitive Spirit, who was beaten 14 lengths, that came out to win. But they've gone with the blinkers, the claim 4, and on some of his better form lines, I think he will definitely get a mention in the place accumulator amongst racing fans. Number 8, Actor, God Puller's runner. I'm expecting some improvement from him. This horse called Claude Monet for Michelle Ricks and Harold Crawford. I think there's more to come from this individual, the son of Canford Cliffs. The dam won 3 times from 1,400 to 2,400 meters, and he's the half-brother to Pas de Nom, who we know well is trained by Dean Caname, and Pas de Nom has won races from a mile up to 1,900 meters. So if the improvement is there for number 10, Claude Monet, over 1,400 meters, just a draw to overcome. And then Mike de Kock's got this first-timer called Artist Model, son of Buffalo Bill Cody, Muzieni up. I can tell you that the dam was decent. She won 5 times, Milk and Honey. I remember her 5 races, from I think 1,200 to 1,600 meters. But she's produced some fair siblings. The most notable of her siblings are Tamarisk Tree and Maple Syrup. So there is a pedigree on number 11, Artist Model. And we've seen a first timer just the other day that Mike de Kock stepped out to win at Hollywoodbets Scottsville over 1,200 meters. So keep an eye on a stable that can certainly ready them up and get them to win on debut. So 11, Artist Model, is the most interesting runner of the first timers. But in leg 1 of the bipod, I think you have options here on how you're going to play it between numbers 2, 5. I'm going to give 8 a mention, and horse number 10. So between those 4 runners, the winner should be there. But number 11, Artist Model, is the very interesting runner from the stable of Mike de Kock. But race number 2 over 1,400 meters, if I had to pick my numbers for the bipod, I'm going to go 2 and 10. Well, it's race number 3, which is the start of the big one. It is the Pick 6, and it's a merit-rated 92 handicap over 1,400 meters. Jot this time down. You need to look sharp. It's the first day of a new month, and what a way it'll be to start September if you grab the big one, the Pick 6, and it will begin in race number 3. But first up, interviews.
He's got a nice draw. He's an honest horse. He's always thereabouts. He does prefer the poly track, but unfortunately some of these races are a bit hard to get on the poly. So when we can take the opportunity to be able to get a race for them, we actually have to run them. He's got a nice draw. So yeah, I think he could definitely be running on. Yeah, no, look, the top weight is always an issue, but he's a nice, big, strong horse. He's also one of those that would prefer the poly, but he has run some nice races on the grass. But like I say, he's in the same boat as William Rufus, trying to get races on the poly for them. So he is a horse that can also squeak into a place chance. Yeah, look, he is a nice horse. He likes the 1,400. Keegan won very well on him, and I think he can go close again on Sunday.
Well, Nicolette Roscoe from her 3 runners, just reading it between the lines, numbers 3 and 5 better on the poly track, looking for a race with them, but they are fit and well, they need to run. And her preference for number 6, Ross Kadesh. If he repeats his last start, he'll go close here in this race. So Craig Zaki on Ross Kadesh, that tells the story. He is the stable jockey. Just having a look at how they're betting here, race number 3 at the time of recording. Number 1, the Shepherd at 5-1. 2, New Mexico at 9-2. Number 5, Mr. Master Start at 8-1. 6, Imposing at 8-1. 8, Rosh Kadesh at 33-10. And 9, Strathclyde at 7-2. So it's the start of the big one, the Pick 6. You want to survive leg number 1 and then see how the perm plays itself out. Yeah, number 1, the Shepherd from the Peter Muscat stable. I think on his best form lines, he'll be very competitive here. He does enjoy racing at the course. He's unbeaten over the course and distance. His last start, if you're wondering what happened and you don't have a form guide that explains it, well, lost a rider and that was it. So you got no run for your money last time out. There are some names in his form line, and the one name that jumps off the page is no doubt Dave the King. In that Pinnacle Stakes, we know that David King has now since been crowned our champion horse of the year. And talking about champions, I must just congratulate all our champions here in KZN. We recently had the KZN Racing Awards on Friday here at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and well done to all the winners for the evening, both equine and human. It was an outstanding evening when it comes to entertainment, and of course our MC, our very own Graham Hawkins, did a sterling job, and yeah, we all had a great time. But well done to all the winners at the KZN Racing Awards that was held on Friday. So coming back to the race, we spoke about number 1, the Shepherd, who I give a big chance to. Number 2, New Mexico. Well, you had to be very encouraged with that comeback run. It was nearly to the day, a year's absence for him. And Alec Laird was on the show when he at his last start, and he mentioned that he was expecting a forward run from the horse, but will need it. I think that run would have brought him more nicely. He's found a really nice race for the horse coming into the race with 52.5 kgs, and Muzi Yeni will ride for Alec Laird, number 2, New Mexico. I have to mention Voldemort at a price. If you're looking for a result here, personally, of the 2 runners from the Allison Wright yard, Atantiwem Kutla is on number 4, Ibuto, but I fancy number 7, Voldemort. Don't leave this horse out of trifectas and quartets. 2 kgs better off than Parmenion when they last met. And I think a horse that will be competitive. If he doesn't win trifecta and quartet money, a must, number 7, Voldemort. And then number 9, Strathclyde. Well, you certainly can't fault his recent form. He was on a hat-trick last time out. He found one better in an above-average talented horse called the Real Prince. But nevertheless, he ran a good race, a versatile individual from 12 to 1,400 meters. And he is unbeaten over the course and distance. In fact, he seems to enjoy this 1,400 meter trip, number 9, Strathclyde. And from the poor draw, he's the likely horse to go and race up handy with that natural gate speed, number 9, Strathclyde. So what are we doing in leg 1 of the Pick 6? Well, I'm going to try and narrow it down. I'm going to play to my rule here. There are 10 runners that will go to post. I've managed to include just 4 runners, and the numbers will be numbers 1, 2, 7, and 9. And I'm hoping that we survive leg 1 with those 4 runners. Well, hopefully your Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge entry on this 1000th anniversary of that competition is going well, and we're now on to race number 4. So we already had 3 races of that competition. By the way, I'm omitted to mention that the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition has to get on 5 minutes before the off of race number 1. So you don't want to be caught napping on this Sunday. Imagine this, you are the winner of the 1000th anniversary of that competition, and you grab the jackpot as well. Well, I say if you won, so if you don't grab the jackpot, you could be the daily prize winner of 5,000 or 10,000 Rand if you play on that bet slip. Let's get straight into race number 4. No interviews here. We are going to bring up the field. It's 1,750 meters. It is jackpot 1. Well, in this race, I'm just going to go with 3 runners in all the bets. That's the pick 6 and the jackpot. Place accumulator, I'm going to suggest a banker here. And I'm going to begin with my banker, number 3, Blackberry Malt for Glenn Cotson. I think on what I saw last time out, this horse is the horse to beat and possibly the right horse in the race. Where this horse is in the betting, Blackberry Malt is 5-2. Number 2, Birthright, is a 3-1. By the way, number 1, Weekend Warrior, 33-10. And horse number 8, Golden Peace, at 33-10. So coming back to Blackberry Malt, my top choice. Yeah, Pirate Prince has come out to win from that form line for Alison Wright. There was a subsequent winner most recently at Hollywoodbets Scottsville called Zacco. The form line's looking bright. It's looking good. 1,750 meters. The drop in distance will be no issue for this horse. Calvin Habib has had 3 tries for him for 2 seconds. He knows the horse well. And whilst he hasn't won for 301 days, I'm looking at this field. There is some form to work around. I think it's the right race. It's come at the right time for number 3, Blackberry Malt. My second choice will be number 8, Golden Peace from the Gavin and some Garrett Van Zyl stable. And well done to Garrett on being crowned champion KZN trainer in our province. And he did pay compliments to his dad, Gavin, as well, who's firmly part of his team. But this horse, Golden Peace, yeah, you know, he seems to save some of his better races for Hollywoodbets Scottsville. His penultimate start behind Bristol Hercules, he got very close to winning. And then last time out, he just was outpaced when poorly drawn. You know, he drawn 14 out of 15 at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, going around the turn over 1,500 meters. He found himself in a nice position turning into the straight, but I think most of his energy was possibly spent up trying to overcome the draw. He was making steady progress behind Harley Street. Al Dante has come out to win from that form line. Although he's poorly drawn this time round, it's just 8 out of 8 runners at the time of recording. So there will be many that will be in the camp of number 8, Golden Peace. And then number 2, Birthright from the Alec Laird stable with Muzieni up. You know, Alec's got a few runners that seem to be nicely placed. We spoke about a horse carrying 52 kgs in the previous, in race number 3, yep, that was New Mexico. Well, here's another horse that comes into the race with a bottom weight, good local debut behind Al Dante. A nicely drawn Muzieni could be the right man for the job. A nice positive ride from the draw. Use the weight, let the horse just stride, and possibly the horse to fetch turning into the straight. So those are the 3 runners that I think could be good enough here for jackpot 1 and the pick 6 in numerical order, numbers 2, 3, and 8. Number 3 is going to be a firm banker for me in the place accumulator. If I have to tip them in order of preference, it'll be 3, 8, and 2, race number 4. Okay, we're on to race number 5, 1,750 meters. It's a merit-rated 73 handicap. And this will be jackpot 2. Jot down the time you need to get on by 14:55. Interview Frank Robinson.
Yeah, he was running on strongly. The horse that's needed time and will get better as time goes on. I'm sure he'll be competitive as well. He'll quite a bit further than this, but I think you'll run a good race here.
Yeah, nice to have Frank on the show, another recipient at the KZN Racing Awards with Cat's Pajamas and his owner, Sid Moodley. Yeah, the Mikado, short and sweet from Frank there, a horse that will be running on nicely and expecting a good run from him, has to go into everything. Yeah, what's it? 9 runners that go to post. Again, we're playing with the rule here. I'm going to go 4 runners, less than half the field, and I think these 4 runners will be good enough for all bets, especially the jackpot and the pick 6. The Mikado, we heard it from Frank, we include that in all bets. His last start got going late behind El Dante, and I think has to go into everything. Ricardo, number 6, has won with Rachel Vinica, and this 7-year-old is back for another season now. He had a wonderful last season as a 6-year-old, running some credible races, number 6, Ricardo. And he's a horse that, if his mind's on racing, he's shown on a few occasions that he really loves racing at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, and he has won over the course and distance. So I'm not going to be discounting his chances, number 6, Ricardo. Number 7, Shotgun Wiley, and number 8, Jazz Festival. Well, you'll see there are lines of form between these 2 runners. If you go on that run behind Tobacconist last time out, and even that penultimate start where Jazz Festival got the better of Shotgun Wiley. So there shouldn't be much that will separate these 2 runners, Shotgun Wiley and Jazz Festival. And when you look at that last start behind Tobacconist, I know it was a blanket finish with all these runners running on, trying to get the better of MJ Oendal's runner, Tobacconist. You know, these 2 runners, there wasn't much that was between them at the finishing post. And you look at the barrier positions, they jump from Shotgun Wiley 11 out of 15, this horse 9 out of 15. They again both poorly drawn, but 7 Shotgun Wiley and 8 Jazz Festival have to be included in everything. Of the balance of the runners, I'm sure a horse like Connoisseur will have followers, a horse that's come down in the ratings now slightly from being at a high of a 79 a few runs back now to a 69, this horse. So the rating is slowly coming down, and Sean Veal is riding superb. That is the other runner that I'll possibly consider if you're looking to include 5 runners, but I can't. I'm playing with the rule. So in race number 5, the 4 runners that are my suggestion for the pick 6 will be numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if I had to choose a roving banker, it's gonna be the 7-year-old, number 6, Ricardo. The last pick 3 on the card will be race number 6. It's over 1,750 meters, a merit-rated 73 handicap. And before we bring up the field, interview with Frank Robinson.
Yeah, shame he got bitten by a snake, so we've had it's been a long time off. He'll need this run though, just to bring him on.
Whew, yeah, that could be nasty for the horse, bitten by a snake. Number 1, Duke of Africa, but he's got some time off. What's he been off? 8.5 months, this horse, so keep an eye on him. It did just take a bit of time to crack the maiden, but his last start before the layoff was a good one. And we will just watch him for now, number 1, Duke of Africa. So let's have a look at how the betting is going here in race number 6 before we touch on some of the form lines. Number 2, Global Movement, is at 4-1. Number 3, Nightjar, has been backed, Hollywoodbets, 5-1 into 4-1. Then we got All Around the World, number 4 at 7-1. Number 5 at 5-1. Yeah, most of these runners are in single figures here. 6 at 8-1, and horse number 7 at 6-1. And we can also include Ladies World to that at 6-1. So I think what I'm going to do here is just give you some nice short comments on each runner, and then we'll do the final selection, because I have a final selection. In fact, I have a horse that I really like here. Number 1, Duke of Africa, we heard it from Frank, bitten by a snake, keep an eye on him. Number 2, Global Movement for Tini Prinsloo and Samanga Kumalo. What a strike rate these 2 share together. They have a lot of success when they team up. a horse that's threatening to win. Really like the look of his last 2 runs, and he is a horse that I think will be a serious contender for top honors. 3 Nightjar, the early market support demands the utmost respect on Hollywoodbets, now shortened into 4-1. Number 4, All Around the World, Gary Rich's runner with Atantiwem Gutla up, a strong front runner, has won over the course and distance. The others have to be wide awake, because when this horse is on song, racing up front, he can run all the way to the line. He very seldom throws in the towel. Number 5, Andre Nel, Platinum Racing, and Calvin Habib will be debuting in the province. Keep an eye if there's any market support come race time. A horse that hasn't won, lightly raced 6-year-old for 775 days. Number 6, Tom's Act. I must admit I prefer the horse on the poly track rather than the turf, and it's clear to see why. 9 starts on the turf for just 3 places. Number 7, Hawatha Goldberg for MJ Odendaal. If you're going to judge this horse on that penultimate start, which was at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, where he got really close to his stable companion Tobacconist, who would have been an unlucky loser that day. But number 7, Hawatha Goldberg, will be a horse that many will include on that penultimate start. 8, African Dust. This is my roughie in the race, a horse that I cannot give you all the confidence in the world, and it's clear to see why. He's a 3-time winner, a versatile individual from 1,400 up to 2,000 meters, but he hasn't won for 245 days. And his last start was a slight concern for me, but then I read the comments. Jumped in, reported lame, right 4. So he was off last time out when it comes to his fitness in the race, reported lame. And he's far better than that run. And we know that Guard Puller, it's been well documented that his horses have had a problem with viruses, etc. Some horses more affected than others. And his stable have hit a good patch now. They are all running well. He's having his winners. So this is the type of horse that I seriously think could bounce back to some big form here. Number 8, African Dusk, at a price. Number 9, Ladies World, the filly, the 3-year-old, just turned 3-year-old filly for Michelle Ricks and Harold Crawford. She could be cleverly placed, against this type of field after a good last start where I thought she punched above her weight there, running second behind the older fillies and mares. Woodland Glade, who has since come out to run 3rd and 2nd. Woodland Glade is in excellent form from the Mike de Kock yard. So Ladies World could be nicely placed for Michelle against the male rivals here. But all said and done here in race number 5, I said I really like the look of one horse, and that horse is Tini Prinsloo's runner. Number 2, Global Movement. I've kept a close eye on him on his last 2 runs, the way he raced last time out, the way he moved up over 2,000 meters. This could be the master stroke. 1,750 meters, you got the draw, you got a confident jockey that you got an exceptional strike rate, which in Samanga Kumalo, I can see this horse racing up handy from draw number 2, and when they turn into the straight, it's going to be Global Movement, the horse to beat. My second choice is going to be the value in the race, which is number 8, African Dusk. My third choice is going to be number 4, All Around the World. That will be another front runner in the race. I'm tipping them too strong to beat number 8. That's a nice horse for those exactors. Then number 4, All Around the World, and number 5, an unknown in KZN for Andre Nel and Platinum Racing. But horse number 2, Global Movement, the selection, race number 6. Are we on to race number 7, the penultimate race on the card? It's over 1,600 meters. It's a fillies and mares 68 handicap. And it's the last double on the card. That double does get to a sizable pool. Well, no interviews here for race number 7. So we're going to bring up the field and have a look at the betting market, and maybe we can just get a guide, Hollywoodbets, on how they're going anti-post. Horse number 1 at 4-1, number 2 at 4-1, horse number 5 at 6-1, number 6 is at 8-1, 7 at 4-1, And there is some money on Hollywood Bets for number 10. That's been backed into 4-1 now. Number 10 being the Pink Diamond. Well, we've managed to narrow it down in the pick 6 for all the legs thus far. But this is one leg where I'm suggesting, if the budget allows, or even if the budget doesn't allow, the tote allows you to do this. What you need to do is just include the field if you don't have a selection, if you are umming and eyeing on which way to go. Include the field, stick with your budget, and take a smaller percentage. That is the way to go. That is the way to play. You know what? You don't want to incur more costs and unnecessary costs as a punter on the day. You've got a budget that you want to play with. You're coming to the race course, or you're playing on your device, or however you're playing on the tote. You want to play a pick 6. This race, if you're going to go, more than half the field, I strongly suggest you include the field. Just quickly, number 1, Vermicelli from the Baron Bortus stable with Murzieni up. Well done to Baron Bortus on all the accolades that was received by Quid Pro Quo at the KZN Racing Awards. So, Vermicelli, a good last start behind Care Forgot, who is the stable companion. She's long overdue for the win. She's had a few runs now for trainer Baron Bortus, and I'm sure engaging the services of Muzieni will be a plus from draw number 1. 53 kgs on her back. Aspusterki for Carl Hewitson and Calvin Habib, carrying 61.5 kgs. She's not at her best over this distance, but now that she's an older mare, maybe it's going to suit her a bit better than it did early on in her career. Horse number 3, Sweeter Than Honey for Doug Campbell, is one of the outsiders in the race, but Rachel, she does run well when she rides for trainer Doug Campbell. Number 4, Blush of Dawn, Guard Puller's runner. I prefer her on the poly track for obvious reasons. It's clear to see 12 runs just to 3 places on the turf. But we saw a horse like Palminion from the Guard Puller yard who stuck me out in that pick 6 the other day that paid absolute bombs, 700,000. Stuck me out in that pick 6, Parmenion, winning for the first time on the turf. So how much we can read into that? The form of these horses can change. If they transfer that poly form onto the turf, you can see them win. So number 4, Blush of Dawn, you're going to have to be the judge on how she's going to perform on the turf. Number 5, Hot Strike. Well, this has to be a serious contender on some of her better forms. You had to like the strike rate that Serena Moodley has with both horse and trainer, because he's won 3 times on Hot Strike, and he's also got a nice good strike rate when he jumps on for Mark Dixon. Number 6, Mystic Rouge, MJ Ordendal's runner. Yeah, a front runner with 53.5 kgs against this type of field, I'm always going to be wary of, so she gets my vote. 7, the Queen Bee from Wendy Whitehead stable with Craig Zaki up. Yeah, the post-maiden form is not the worst, although she took some time to win that maiden, 11 starts. Her last start will keep you interested. The distance should be no problem. Free Will for Lola Crawford to 300 now. Is it 300 now? Yeah, it is. 350 days, so nearly a year since she's last worn. They've engaged the services of the young apprentice, claiming the 4, Gelsamine for the Wendy Whitehead yard, number 9. Yeah, she's a 3-time winner. Let's not forget that. She stays from 1,400 to 1,750 meters, and she's won 3 times over the distance, 2 of them over the course and distance. Could this be the surprise package, a horse in double figures? Definitely number 9, Gelsamina. And then 10, Pink Diamond, took 15 runs to crack the maiden, which came last time out. That form line we know has held up very well. There is early betting support for Lorenza Karim's runner. The stable's doing well, whether they're running here in KZN or in Gauteng. So it looks like an absolute minefield. We've given all these runners a mention. For me, it's a field race in the pick 6. I can't narrow this down. If I had to tip you 2 horses for the place accumulator, it's numbers 1 and 5. But this horse, called Gelsamina from the Wendy Whitehead stable, is definitely going to be the value in the race on her distance form, on her course and distance form, and against this type of field as a 3-time winner with very little form to work around. that could be the result that you are looking for in the pick 6, number 9, Gelsamina. Race number 7, good luck trying to minimize your spend in whichever exotic you are playing. Closing things off will be race number 8, and this is over 1,100 meters. It's a merit-weighted 78 handicap, and this is a bomb race. A race that I'm looking forward to closing off the meeting. It's down the straight, it's quick, it's 1,100 meters. There's some talent, there's some horses in good form. When I look at the betting market and just give you a guide at the time of recording, number 1, Raffers Boy, 6-1, 2, Northern Warrior, 5-1, 3, Jet Legacy, who I liked last time out. Is it going to be a follow-up? Well, it could be. Number 10 is at 5-1, 11 at 5-1, and 12 at 7-1. So I'm going to give a few horses a mention here. I think Raffers Boy for Garrett Van Zyl, a horse that is quick on his day. His last start, it wasn't the worst. Going to watch that replay. I know that he seemed to be, fading out in the running that day, but it wasn't the worst run. But I'm going to judge him on his penultimate start, which was a very good effort at the course over 1,200 meters, and he has to go in at a price, a Raffers Boy, at a price, meaning trading at around 6-1. Number 2, Northern Warrior, Michael Roberts' runner. Well, Michael's got numbers 2, 7, and 11 here, so he must fancy his chances. A horse that loves racing at the track. Last time out, looked the part, delivered for his followers. The 7-year-olds in cracking good form. Number 3, Jet Legacy. Well, here's a horse that worked on course when he won last time out, and passed that information on to racing fans that he is the right horse in the right race, and he duly obliged, beating Philly Spiel, a horse that will enjoy a good pace in the race like he did last time out, because he's not going to be able to match the early speed with some of these runners that will be getting out of those starting stalls, and away they go. But he'll just be sitting in behind them. Atandiwe and Goodla will be hoping to time his run nicely with number 3, Jet Legacy, who's a likely race 5-year-old. Then we're going to go to a horse like Fire Tonic from the Stuart Ferry Yard. Last time out, what a ride, Sean Veal, from getting the better of Happy Wonder, because this horse was carrying 62 kgs and was giving 9.5 kgs to the horse that ran second. So I thought that was a superb performance from number 6, Fire Tonic. How's he gone up in the ratings? Well, from a 72 to a 75, he wasn't severely punished for that win. 7, Bless Me Fred, well, he's proving costly to follow now. If you want to include him on some of his better runs, please do so. And I've expected a bit better from him at his recent start. He just seems to be badly off form. Horse number 9, Super Fast from the Tony Riverland stable. Yeah, on that Yamadori run, he's a horse that will grab you because that was a good run last time out, trying to stretch him over 1,500 meters. He doesn't stay. Number 10, Alec Laird's runner, recently turned 3-year-old. He was smashed by Truth. We know that Truth is a horse that is highly rated by Candice Dawson. I like to see how he goes, carrying 61 kgs against older hard knockers. 11, Philly Spiel, always gets a mention from me. Note the apprentice change here. Brevin Plykes is not riding, and Damien Pillay gets the ride, claiming the 4. This could be a nice pickup ride for young Damien, because a horse that you don't have to be too tactical on the way you're going to ride him. He'll basically tell you where he wants to be out the gates, and all you need to do is just go where Phyllis Beale tells you to go, because he's a talented horse. He's won 5 times, and his last 2 starts he's threatening to win. So he's a serious contender and could give young Damien, who's still searching for that first win as an apprentice, his winner in race number 8. And then number 12, Heaven's Will from the Dennis Bosch stable. I think Muziani's got some lovely mounts throughout the day, and he must fancy his chances here in race number 8 because this horse won a good race over 1,400 meters, just dictated and from the front from that poor draw at Hollywoodbets Greyville. and a horse that's versatile on both surfaces, the poly and the turf. So the confidence is high on number 12, Heaven's Will, and so is the confidence of the jockey, Boozy Yenny. So it looks to be a race where it's a nice, lovely quartet to close things off. Super Ceaseless Slengwa, congratulations to you. He is now a fully fledged jockey. Yeah, Super Ceaseless Slengwa, well done, my man. A fully fledged jockey. And race number 8, how are we going to end things off? Well, let's do this. I'm going to go with number 3, Jet Legacy, as my roving banker in all bets and a must in the place accumulator. If I had to give you numbers for the pick 6, however, I don't know if I'm going to be able to narrow it down. I need to narrow it down by 6 runners because I haven't written down anything in my book when it comes to selections for this race. I was umming and eyeing and didn't know which way to go. But my firm roving banker for that quartet is going to be horse number 3, Jet Legacy. For the pick 6, can I narrow it down to 6 runners? Well, let's try. Roughest Boy I have to include. Northern Warrior is a must. And 3, Jet Legacy is a must. So 1, 2, and 3. So I need 3 more runners. Where are those 3 runners going to come from? Well, 11 is the next runner. So 1, 2, 3, and 11. And then if I had to include 2 more runners, number 12, a must for me. So 1, 2, 3, 11, and 12. And then 1 more horse for the pick 6. Well, which one it's going to be? Do we go with the 3-year-old who is in the betting, or do we go with an older horse? Well, I am going to go with a horse that's been falling of late, and the day I leave him out, maybe that's the day he's going to come up trumps. It's going to be number 7. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 11, and 12 for the pick 6. The roving banker in race number 8 will be horse number 3, Jet Legacy. Well, it's now time for the selections for our show, and this is for Sunday, the 1st of September. Well, as we bring up my selections, I need to remind you, and I did mention it for that race-by-race preview, that we congratulate and we thank Hollywoodbets for the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition. And why we congratulate them today? Well, today is their 1,000th day of running that competition. Can you believe that? 1,000. Unbelievable how time flies by, but it's just great that Hollywoodbets has put the one and only competition for us racing fans on a daily basis. Yes, it is on a daily basis because it's racing locally, where there is a daily prize and a jackpot prize, and of course it's Hong Kong and Singapore as well. They've given out prize fund to the value of 31.5 million thus far to players that have won the daily prize, and of course the jackpot prize, and there have been many, many winners of the jackpot prize. And if you want to double up that jackpot prize on it, you need to do is pay that 50 Rand on your bet slip, and you can double up that jackpot prize and double up the daily prize of 5,000 to 10,000 Rand. It's play for free. All you need is a Hollywoodbets account. And again, we thank you, Hollywoodbets, for making our day wherever we are racing, because you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance. You're in it to win it, and maybe you could be in it to win it on the Sunday and be crowned a champion on the 1,000 Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition. Let's get straight into my suggested bet, which is up on screen. And race number 4 is where jackpot 1 starts. Keep an eye on scratchings. I'm just going with 3 runners here, numbers 2, 3, and 8. Birthright, Blackberry Malt, and Golden Peace, but I love the look of number 3, Blackberry Malt. Just didn't have the confidence to banker that because we got a bottom weight in number 2, and number 8, Golden Peace, does enjoy racing at the course, but I think ready to win is number 3, Blackberry Malt. And what are we doing in race number 5? But I'm playing it safe, and I think the 4 runners that we've selected will be good enough for the jackpot. Numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. Leg number 3, well, this is where I've played it wide, but I really like the look of one horse here. But what I've done is I've done a safe route. So number 2, Global Movement, is my clear first pick there. Kumalo and Tini Prinsloo team up, and I think he is the horse to beat. But just run for some cover there with number 4, All Around the World, 5, and 8, is the horse that I think could cause the upset there, African Dust. But I really like the look of number 2 there, Global Movement. Then onto that last leg, which is race number 7. Now, I said it on the race by race preview that it is a field race, but I'm just trying my best to narrow it down for you, the valued racing fan. And I managed to come up with 4 runners. Number 1, Vermicelli. Number 2, Aspustierki. Horse number 5, Hot Strike. And horse number 6, which is going to be Mystic Rouge. So 1, 2, 5, and 6 there. And that is a wrap, guys, of the selection show. And I must thank you, the valued racing fan, for your invaluable support of the tote. And together we can surely make a difference. I hope that you're going to have a wonderful day playing at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. It's in St. Duzi. It's the capital. It's Pietermaritzburg, my hometown. And always a blast when you go racing at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Hopefully it turns out to be a blast for you. Find all the winners, make a huge profit, and hopefully catch the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition. The 1,000 competition will happen on this Sunday, and what a thing that will be. It will be life-changing money if you get it, because it's the number of runners multiplied by 10,000 that will give you the jackpot prize. From the entire team, Gallop TV, myself, Dees Dynan, to you, the valued racing fan. Until we meet again, you take care. Salaniga Ashley.